Modern writer Zhang Henshui has a wide range of hobbies and interests. He is full of curiosity and love for the world, making ordinary days colorful and vivid. One is to listen to operas. Zhang Henshui is a fan of operas. In the autumn of 1999, he came to Beijing alone from his hometown Chunming, Anhui. At that time, he was still a poor scholar with nothing, and lived on writing. In addition to eating and paying rent every month, he only had 1 yuan in cash. He happened to come across a good opera and spent this last dollar to feast his eyes. His hometown is one of the birthplaces of Peking opera, so it is no wonder that he has a special liking for it. However, watching operas costs money. Although he has an income of 50 or 60 yuan a month without a family, if he lets himself watch operas, he is afraid that he will not be able to enjoy it. Of course, he is never stingy with money worth spending. There is a hobby in life that requires more money and more energy. For The Farewell, My Concubine, co-starred by Mai Lanfang and Yang Zhaolu, he could break his purse and spend $10 to watch it again and again. Zhang Henshui was not only obsessed with Peking opera, but also studied opera knowledge very hard, and constantly explored and studied it. He wrote many articles about opera, which were published in the supplements of Pearl and Nightlight, and there were many insights in them. Zhang Henshui liked to listen to, watch, talk about and comment on opera, but because he had a left voice, he didn't sing in tune and didn't sing easily. But despite this, as long as there was a chance, he was still eager to try and satisfy his addiction to opera. It is said that he had at least 3 experiences of ticketing operas on stage. The second is reading. Zhang Henshui admired the saying, "Sitting quietly when you have nothing to do, reading when you are blessed." He believed that this kind of interest is not in line with the modern outlook on life. However, if we really have this state, isn't it a great blessing? He once wrote a record of reading, which explains that no matter it is the afternoon in the autumn window or the setting sun, no matter it is the bright moon or the heavy snow, even if he is occasionally frustrated or busy with trivial matters, he always reads poetry and books. Zhang Henshui reads a lot of books, covering a wide range of content. At first, he was keen on reading novels, intoxicated by chapter novels, and also read Romance of the West Chamber annotated by Jin Shengton. Interestingly, when he read novels, he didn't care about the stories, but he appreciated the poems in them. For example, Flower and Moonmark, he thought that novels were not Wei Xian's forte, but his poems were all good. Then, he read some legends, such as Peony Pavilion, Swallow Letter, Peach Blossom Fan, Eternal Life Palace, and so on. As his interest in poetry grew stronger, he read books such as Suiyuan Poetry Talk, Bai Sheng Xiai Pu, and Tang Poetry Combined Interpretation, one after another. The spiritual theory advocated by Yuan Mai in Suiyuan Poetry Talk had a great influence on him and also stimulated his passion and desire to write poetry. Writing poems, making friends with poems, and gathering in the city brought him a lot of happiness. Zhang Henshui loved reading and buying books. Beijing bookstalls and book markets are scattered everywhere. Zhang Henshui often lingered in Liulichang, Longfu Temple, and Donggan Market, searching for old books. In his article Beijing Old Bookstores, he said, "After working as a book dealer, I always like to visit bookstalls and enjoy searching for fragments. I must wander here several times every spring festival." He likes textual research and history when looking for books. After more than 10 years of searching, his collection of books is said to have accumulated more than 10,000 volumes. Unfortunately, the Anti-Japanese War broke out and most of these books were lost after several migrations. The third is to grow flowers. Zhang Henshui was born in the countryside. The green mountains and waters, flowers, plants and trees in his hometown embody his emotions, symbolize his personality, and cultivate his sentiments. Therefore, he is obsessed with tending flowers and plants, and never gets tired of it. Every time he moved to a new house, he would open a flower garden in the yard and plant things like wisteria, lilac, mountain peach, pomegranate, etc. Sometimes he would also place a large flower pot in the yard and plant lotus in it. White walls and black tiles, red flowers and green trees, clusters of flowers, full of spring, with a unique style. Zhang Henshui likes chrysanthemums the most. He wrote in Dream of Yellow Flowers in the Old House. Although I play with flowers all year round, playing with chrysanthemums in autumn is the center of my interest in the year. At this time, in addition to his own cultivation, he also bought a large number of ready-made ones. He would display hundreds of top-quality pots in various pots in several rooms of the study, high and low. Some have one flower, some have two, and at most three. He arranged and adjusted them so that they could be included in the painting. Next to the chrysanthemums, other autumn flowers, small goldfish, tanks, pumpkins, stones, cattails, and a large turnip were used as foils. Every night, under the light, the shadows of flowers swayed on the wall, like a series of ink paintings, which made people feel relaxed and happy. Facing this beautiful scenery, Zhang Henshui often called his friends to come to the chrysanthemum bushes to drink tea and chat. Sometimes he would make a chrysanthemum pot, eat petals, recite poems, and drink for fun. In addition to being addicted to drama, books, and flowers, Zhang Henshui also loved painting. He believed that poets love painting, and painters love poetry. He loved painting since he was a child. In addition to being taught by teachers in school, he mainly learned from Jizi Yuan Huapu. In the 1930s, Zhang Henshui was very close to Zheng Yumei, the king of blank filling. Once, Zheng Yumei asked him to paint. He knew that Zheng liked plum blossoms, so he painted Jiangmi too as a gift. Zheng regarded it as a treasure and often hung it in the book nest. In 1947, on Zheng Yuliuan's 43rd birthday, Zhuo Zhaohong specially sent an oval brass ink box and asked Zhang Henshui to add ink. Zhang Henshui did not refuse and drew a chrysanthemum ink draft, and specially wrote the words Ying Zhaohong asked for Yuliuan. Zhuo Zhaohong also wrote Zhaohong presents to brother Yuliuan, which made a good story of mutual envy and respect between literary friends. Not only that, from the spring of 1931 to 1937, his fourth brother, the painter Mui, invited colleagues to establish the Peking North China Art College, and he also sponsored it, became a director of the school, and was elected as the principal. The school invited Chen Banding, Wang Zuedo, Li Kukin, Wang Shensheng, Wang Qingfeng, Zhu Zhangji and others to be teachers, and his old friends Qi Blishi, Liu Tianhua, Zhang Yingxin and others often came to give lectures. Zhang Henshui often asked painters for advice on painting techniques in his spare time from teaching and writing, and his hobby of painting was greatly satisfied. According to Zhang Wu, the son of Zhang Henshui, when Zhang Henshui was chatting with a few old friends, some people said that Zhang Henshui's prose was better than novels, and his poems were better than prose. Zhang Henshui said, "Neither is good, my paintings are good." It can be seen that he worked hard on painting and was quite confident. Zhang Henshui finds joy in suffering. At the end of 1937, Zhang Henshui and his family came to Chongqing. He served as the chief writer of the Xinmin Daily, and his family lived in 3 thatched cottages in Nanwenquan, a suburb of Chongqing. Life during the war was hard, with material scarcity, and food and clothing could only barely maintain food and clothing. There was also a lack of spiritual life, and there was no cultural life. Zhang Henshui was a drama fan, but he could not go to the theater once a year. He was optimistic and knew his fate, went with the flow, and always found joy in suffering. One is playing checkers. Zhang Henshui was not good at gambling, and he only knew how to play checkers. Sometimes it was late at night, everything was quiet outside the window, the cave was pitch black, the wind blew the bamboo, and the dog barked in the distance. He stopped writing, raised his head, and sighed. At this time, his wife, who was sewing, got up and took away his paper and pen, saying, "If you don't want to rest, let's play checkers?" Zhang Henshui smiled and said, "You and I really have a common language, only you understand me." So after playing 3 games, he turned off the lights and went to bed. One is playing the huqin. Once, a friend gave Zhang Henshui a huqin, and he was overjoyed. He played with it and couldn't put it down. When he went to the city, he bought books with music scores. After lunch, he sat by the window, facing the clear sky and the empty valley, and threw away his pen, picked up the huqin, and practiced playing according to the score. After a long time, he could play 1 or 2 sections of Mei Longtown, Ma Dian, June Snow, and New Kiji. His wife also had a deep understanding of rhythm. Sometimes Zhang Henshui played the zither, and the sound of the zither came unexpectedly. My wife stopped sewing in the next room, and she immediately responded to the sound by singing. Zhang Henshui was proud of his wife's active response, so he compared it to playing the flute to attract the phoenix. His wife deliberately mocked him. "Your poor skills, to make a precise metaphor, are like the left throat of a singer." Zhang Henshui said unconvincedly, "Then why do you sing in response?" His wife replied, "I'm bored." Don't women want to have some entertainment? Although your zither skills are poor, it's better than having no zither. It just happened to trigger my inspiration, so why shouldn't I sing? Zhang Henshui nodded and smiled, full of emotion. The husband sings and the wife follows, which adds a little warmth to the hard days. Alright, this part of the story ends here.
Want to know what happened next? Let's listen to the breakdown next time.